Hi yogis, welcome to your class, Yoga for Runners. This class is also helpful for any T-Rexes you know. So if you know any T-Rexes, please share this practice with them. We're going to start standing. And one of the reasons we're going to start standing is because a cross-legged seated position is really challenging for a lot of people who have avidly been running for a long time. So we're going to skip most seated positions today. This really is yoga for runners, but pretty much everything we're doing is of benefit to anyone with a body. I'll explain as we go why we might do some things and what yoga can do for runners and how it meets long-term needs for runners. Standing with your feet a comfortable distance apart. Let's begin by inhaling our arms overhead, lifting our head and looking up, and then exhaling, slowly lowering our arms. Inhaling, circle your arms, lift them up, look overhead. Exhaling, slowly lower your arms. Last time, synced up. Inhale, reach up, look up. Exhale, lower your arms. We're going to change this a little bit. Let's start to do some arm circles, but now our arms are moving backwards. As we move and we breathe, we want to pay attention to a fluid movement through the circle and maintain a relaxed face. While runners may dispute that they are fluid in their pace, running is such a specific, bouncy, jarring pattern for the body that runners often struggle to execute fluid movement through other ranges of movement. So we want to focus on fluidity, trying to find ease through our full ranges of movement, and trying to relax our face so that we're actively down-regulating. Let's pause, relax your arms. Take a long breath in and a slow breath out. Step your right foot back with your toes curled under so that your ankle is long. You can feel a little lift between your low belly up towards your low ribs, which are drawing down a bit to help you with your balance. But other than that, we're simply actively stretching the front of your ankle. So breathe here for a few moments. Let's step our right foot back next to our left, and then step your left foot back, toes curled under, ankle long, calm breathing in and out. If you find that your foot starts to cramp, see if you can calmly breathe through it. And if it gets to be too much, take a break and then join back in. Let's step both feet a comfortable distance apart. Lift your arms up at shoulder height, arms wide, but then bend your elbows so your hands come back toward your heart. Twist to the right, widening your arms, and then come back to center, hands touch to heart area. Twist to the left, arms widen, back to center, hands to heart area. Do this back and forth a few times and let your hips go with you rather than feeling the need to keep them stationary at center. Pause at center and relax your arms by your sides. Touch your temples, bringing your fingers up to your temples with your elbows bent. Bring your elbows a little bit back, but then all we're going to do is touch our elbows together in front of us and then stretch them back. In front of us, stretch them back. That's all for a few moments. Great. Pause and relax your arms by your sides. With your hands on your hips, get steady underneath your left foot. And balancing on your left foot, lift up your right heel and then lift up your right knee and do some standing hip circles with your right knee circling out to the side, down, and then back up towards you. Now, as you do this, again, try to find your torso a bit stabilized. So low belly and ribs come toward each other, sides wrap toward each other. We're trying to get our torso to stay still so that the movement is more coming from our hip. Switch directions. The reason that standing helps to start with this work is that the lack of containment from other joints and body parts being connected to the ground does allow for some ease of movement. But of course, it means that some things are moving even more than we want them to. So we'll try this again from the ground and see how it goes. Put your right foot on the ground. Take a long breath in. And a calm breath out. Get steady on your right foot. Lift up your left heel. And then containing and stabilizing through the torso. Lift your left knee up. Circle out, down, and back up towards you. Switch directions. Put 2 feet on the ground and take a long breath in and a long breath out. Step your feet a little wider and touch your temples again. Side bend to the right, come to center, and then squat down, bending your knees and hips, widening your knees a little bit so they're tracking over your middle toes and keeping your torso upright. Slowly stand up, feeling the movement initiate from your hips and core, and then side bend to the left. Come back to center and squat down. Chest upright, knees opening up a little bit so they track over middle toes. Stand up and then side bend to the right. Keep going back and forth a few times. Stand up, relax your arms by your sides, breathe in and breathe out. Step your right foot back into a warrior one lunge stance. So your back foot's going to kind of point forward, back heel is down, feet are definitely on separate tracks. Hold on to the back of your pelvis so that your thumbs are pointing toward each other and your hands are wrapping around your pelvis. And then as you bend your front knee, lift through your low belly as you round your upper back, maybe even feeling like you're squeezing your upper arm bones toward each other. Your head can lift up or lift back, but it doesn't have to. Take a few slow breaths. Feeling this lifted, rounding counter to those T-Rex running arms. Ease off the shape. Lift your back heel so your heel is up behind your toes. And then make a fist with your right hand and cover that fist with your left hand. Twist to the left and tuck your right elbow over your left thigh. As you come into this twisting lunge, work your elbow and thigh into each other and then create breadth across your chest, distance between your left hip and your chest, and lengthen your waistline and back leg. Unlike an upright lunge, we can lengthen our back leg here. Now lengthen the space between your ears and the tops of your shoulders as well, and take any puckering out of your face. Let's breathe calmly. And then turn to center and put your hands on the ground. Put your back knee down. This is a long sequence for one leg, I know, but put your back knee down and find a long, low lunge. I'm going to curl under my toes and keep my hands on the ground. As your hips come a little forward, let's not overly exacerbate that T-Rex upper body. Keep lengthening your upper body. And you may even want to add a little isometric contraction here, feeling like you're pulling your legs toward each other. Slow and calm your breath down. Ease off the shape. Shorten your stance so that your legs are in two 90-degree angles. So if you're going to propose to someone, what would that look like? It's not a low lunge because we want to broaden across the low back and some of the hamstring connections without yanking on them. And so this is the position. Bring your hands to the inside of your front leg. You might want to block because we're going to ragdoll here, bending your elbows and allowing yourself to hang toward the ground. Take many calm, slow breaths into your low back. Ease to hands and knees. And then once you get to hands and knees, lift your chest, lift your chin, lift your tail, and then round your body to the ceiling in cat pose. Lift your chest, lift your chin, lift your tail, round your body to the ceiling. Do that a couple more times. And if you'd like to take it into some barrel rolls, rolling over to the side and to the ground, just take the time to switch directions as well. Then pause. Step your knees a little wider than usual. And then reach your right hand forward, curl your fingers in and cover your fingers with your right thumb. And then reach your hand forward up to the ceiling. Let your chest turn and then behind you and then down again. Let's do this a few times. Switch directions. Put your right hand on the ground. Reach your left hand forward, curl in your fingers, cover with your thumb. Reach your left hand forward, up, back and down, forward, up, back and down. Keep going. Switch directions. Put 2 hands on the ground. Touch your right hand to the back of your head. And let's reassert a little lift between our left hand through our left arm and up through our chest. Now turn your chest toward the ceiling and then come back level. Turn your chest, elbow reaches to the ceiling, turn level. Let's do this a few times. Put your right hand on the ground, take a calm breath in and a calm breath out. Put your left hand on the back of your head. Reassert a little lift and length between your right hand up through your chest, and then turn your chest toward the ceiling, lower back, lift up, elbow points to the ceiling, lower back. A few more times. Put 2 hands on the ground. Step your hands wider than your shoulders. Curl your toes under and lift up to downward facing dog. In downward facing dog, runners are going to have a harder time lengthening their spines and their legs because that spine to hamstring extension, it's one of the hardest things for runners. Let's pedal our feet and pivot our knees here. It's one of the hardest things for runners because the running movement causes your hamstrings to contract, which brings your heels closer to your bum. So that's why the backs of your legs are always so tight. So if you're an avid runner, chasing straight legs and downward facing dog is probably not the most helpful or realistic goal. It's not even going to necessarily bring you joy, happiness, and no knee pain. So definitely take a bent knee approach to your downward facing dog. Let's lift our hips dramatically and tiptoe our feet up to our hands. This is a really good mobility activity for you. Once you get up to your hands, heel toe your feet wider than usual. And if your hips only come so low, your toes are going to point forward. Have your hands grazing the ground or on blocks and lift your chest forward. Keep your chest lifting forward. And then bend your knees. Your knees are going to turn open a little bit and track over third toes. And then straighten your legs. Bend your knees, straighten your legs. Chest lift forward the whole time. If it's going really well, turn your toes a little open and then lower your bum a little bit further, but really not much further, not necessarily toward a yoga squat. Stay with me for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause. Drag your hands onto your shins, half lift. Bend your knees, peel to stand, shrug your shoulder heads back a few times. Take a calm breath in and a calm breath out. Stepping your feet underneath you, step your left foot back into a warrior one stance. Back toes kind of point forward, back heel goes down. Hold on around your pelvis, thumbs point toward each other, fingers wrap around. Lunge into your front leg, anchored by your back foot. And then lift and round your upper chest in this back bending warrior one for a few breaths. Ease off the shape. Lift up your back heel behind your toes. And this time make a fist with your left hand and cover your fist with your right hand. Twist toward your right leg, tucking your left elbow over your right leg, coming into our twist on this side. As you twist, you're trying to broaden across your chest, but also increase the length between your right hip and your chest. It might feel like your right bum cheek's trying to pull backwards as your chest lengthens a little forwards. And your back leg can stay long at the hip, long at the knee. Ease off the shape, turn to center, put your hands down. Put down your left knee into a low lunge position, maybe curling under the back toes. Knee padding is always legal. And then maybe adding an isometric contraction, but staying long and broad through our chest in this low lunge. Slowing our breathing down if we find that we're breathing unconsciously or rapidly. Ease off the shape a little bit and shorten your stance to our proposal stance, our 90-90 stance, moving both hands to the inside of your front leg, perhaps reaching for a block, and then bending our elbows toward the ground in a ragdoll position, maybe bending our elbows toward our block. Broad breaths to a low back, that's broadening. Into full, out to empty. Ease off back to hands and knees. Take a moment to take any little movements that speak to you. And as you do that, I'll let you know that one of the challenges with mitigating the effects of running is that running makes you really good at a very specific movement pattern. So stretching is going to alleviate feelings of tightness because stretching is an analgesic. It promotes pain relief, but it doesn't necessarily contribute to improved range of movement. You have to move your way into improved range of movement. And so with running, since it's so specific, pretty much anything other than forward and back is going to be beneficial for you. So this next activity is really helpful, but it's really helpful particularly if done consistently over the long run. So let's, with both hands and knees on the ground, lift your chest a little bit off your arms, stabilize your torso, try to keep your low back from moving so much, hover your right knee, and then start to draw circles with your right leg. As you do this, make sure that the space between your left shoulder and your left hip stays fairly still. And like I said at the beginning of class, how can this movement be fluid and be more about fluidity than the steadiness of running? Let's switch directions. Put your right knee on the ground, take a long breath in and a long breath out. Stabilizing our torso, hover your left knee and start to lift and circle your left leg. making sure we're keeping the line between your right shoulder and your right hip still. Again, that might feel like your right bum cheek trying to escape your right ribs and your right shoulder trying to hug onto your body a little bit. Switch directions. Put your left knee on the ground. Take a long breath in and a long breath out. Then we're going to settle into a child's pose, which is not going to be a happy place for some runners. So you have two options. You're either going to do child's pose right where you are, settling your bum back to your heels, widening your knees, maybe putting a block or two under your head and chest or folding your arms. Or you're going to turn over onto your back and then draw your knees into your chest. And you can hold them loosely or snug, wide or rocking. It's entirely up to you. So let's settle in. And just like we've done in other practices, we're going to add a Brahmari, but it's going to be a really quiet, soothing Brahmari. So Brahmari is bumblebee or honeybee breath. And so what we're going to do is we're going to breathe in, and as we breathe out, the whole out breath will be a buzz sound, an buzz. So take a long breath in and slowly till all the air is gone. And then take a long breath in. Sigh out. Round 2. Last time for now. Breathe in. Bumblebee breath out. And then for 1 quiet minute, simply breathe and give your breath the gentle, steady focus you give to a long run. If you're on your knees, walk your hands back to your knees to ease your way upright. And then come down onto your back. And once you come down onto your back, let's all stretch ourselves out really long, taking a waking up type kind of stretch. And once you've taken your waking up type kind of stretch, reach your arms overhead if you accidentally brought them down, and hold on to your right wrist with your left hand and take your arms over to the left as you walk your feet over to the left too, maybe looking up over to the right. And then breathe into your right side, round, slow, and steady. If you're looking to the right, bring your head back to center and switch hands, holding onto your left wrist and bringing your arms over to the right as you walk your feet over to the right. Hooking your left ankle over your right ankle and looking up over to the left. And once you do that, breathing into your left side like your left side could breathe more than your right. Ease your way back to center. Bring your arms down by your sides or really anywhere that feels right for you. And then perk up your toes. And then without your hands, bend your right knee in towards your chest. Straighten your leg to the ceiling and then slowly float it to the ground. Then bend your left knee into your chest. Straighten your leg to the ceiling. Slowly float it to the ground. We're going to do this a few times back and forth. And then we're going to change the activity a little bit. Because while stretching helps improve the range of movement that you already have, you can't rehabilitate range of movement. You can't gain new ranges through stretching. You have to move your way into them. And so activities like this are really helpful for those of us who struggle to lengthen our legs. But that being said, you can live a full, rich, happy in-body life without ever straightening your knee in a forward fold. So please do not internalize any idea that straight knees are better knees or happier bodies. Let's take a break. Put 2 legs on the ground. Take a long breath in. And a calm breath out. And then this time, bring your right knee in towards your chest. Still no hands. But this time, you're trying to tuck your knee as snugly towards your right shoulder without your hands as possible. And then you're going to straighten it to the ceiling. Tuck it towards your shoulder and then straighten to the ceiling. As you do this a few times, your foot will come close to your bum and all the angles of your body, and all the angles of your right leg anyway, will be really, really snug. And this time you can catch your right knee when it bends again and hold on to it. I leave my right foot relaxed unless I take my leg more out to the side, in which case then I perk up my ankle strongly, just because that's what feels right for me, but it's up to you. You may want to lay your left hand on your belly or the front of your left hip. Extend out your right leg, put it on the ground. Bend your left knee in towards your chest. And then straighten it to the ceiling. And without hands, bend your knee as snug to your body as you can. Straighten to the ceiling. Bend in really snug. Do this a few times. And then catch your left knee and hold on to it. Lay your right hand somewhere purposeful. Slow your breath down and relax your eyes. Extend your left leg out and relax your body for a moment. Set both feet on the ground and hook your right ankle over your left thigh, and either press your right thigh bone forward really quite close to your hip or draw your left leg in, either by the back of your leg or the front of your shin. We're going to take 5 breaths here. And then after 5 breaths, we're actually going to straighten our left leg if we're holding it. So if you haven't already, straighten your left leg. And if this position is a bit much for you, unhook your right leg, put your foot on the ground, and then simply hold the back of your left leg, breathing slow and calm. Unwind your shape. And then hook your left ankle over your right thigh, either pressing your left leg away from you or bringing your right leg in towards you. 5 breath cycles. Count it out slowly. And then you might want to straighten your right leg. And you might need to unhook your left leg to do that, and that's okay. Straighten your right leg and hold on to the back of it. Slow breathing. Let go of your legs and unwind. Bring your knees into your chest and then move your arms between your legs. Hold on to your toes, the tops of your feet, or your ankles. And then it's up to you. You might want to lift your head, neck, and shoulders. You may want to feel like your knees are stretching away from each other. You may want to rock left to right here, but it's up to you. Slow, steady breaths. And then unwind into your Shavasana. Now, as you unwind into your Shavasana, I'll tell you that in Ayurveda, yoga's sister science, running aggravates the elements of air and space. And so particularly if we have a lot of those elements to our constitution, but for everybody, because everyone has all elements, that means that running can lead to too much lightness, too much dryness. So that could manifest as constipation. That could manifest as too little moisture and liquidity in our joints, but also too much lightness in our head could make us a tad forgetful. And things might not flow well. Thoughts might not flow as easily. So as you settle in, I know if you're someone who's attracted to running, Shavasana feels really quite challenging. It's so still. But in the same way that you watch your pace and you attune to the rhythm of your steps as you run, you can attune yourself to your breath. And if you get very quiet with yourself, you may also discern a calm heartbeat. So there's still that rhythm for you. So for a few quiet minutes, observe that rhythm alongside that flow of breath. Stay relaxed exactly as you are. Closing with a poem by Daniel F. Mead. If you would grow to your best self, be patient, not demanding, accepting, not condemning, nurturing, not withholding, self-marveling, not belittling, gently guiding, not pushing and punishing. For you are more sensitive than you know. Mankind is as tough as war, yet delicate as flowers. We can endure agonies, but we open fully only to warmth and light, and our need to grow is as fragile as a fragrance dispersed by storms of will, to return only when those storms are still. So accept, respect, and attend your sensitivity. A flower cannot be opened with a hammer. Begin to deepen your breath. Reintroduce little movements that speak to you. You may want to rock your head from side to side, or wiggle your fingers and toes. You may want to stretch long. You may want to tuck in. In your way and in your time, make your way up to seated. And once you get there, take a very long breath in. And a slow breath out. Thank you so much for your practice. It's a privilege to teach.